blanket. If you feel more comfortable, you can raise that blanket underneath you so it's a little bit higher and your thighs and your knees dropping forward in front of you. And just straighten up your spine and feel your head just like a balloon at the top of your spine. Feel your head really light and easy, like it's just floating at the top of your head. Let your shoulders relax and fall away from your ears. Your hands just resting gently on your knees. And we're just going to get comfortable and come into the space. Coming into the space of being in the here and now. I just want to do one more thing, but that's not going to work. So, yeah. Okay. So you're feeling grounded, you're feeling your sitting bones on the blanket beneath you, you're feeling your hands resting on your thighs, your spine nice and straight, your head just floating at the top of your spine. And we want to just settle down, start to feel and connect to your breath, noticing the inhales and the exhales. Just finding a connection to your breath. And before we carry on, I'd like to just read a poem from the poet Rumi, which is a very beautiful poem, and I think it's a good time for us to connect to the words of this poem. So while we're sitting calmly, just focused on the breathing, just listen to the words of this poem. It's called The Guest House. I'm sure many of you know it. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from above. So while we're sitting and just connecting to our breath, and we were connecting to those words, a lot of feelings and thoughts have come up for people during this time. And let's just allow our feelings to be what they are, but at the same time, as we breathe and do our yoga, try to replace some of those fearful feelings with hopeful, optimistic feelings, feelings of connection, feelings of calm that we can invite in through our yoga practice. So one of the most effective things in dealing with stress, and there is a lot of stress out there, is to breathe. So let's switch just the easy breathing to a more focused breathing, and we'll start with placing our hands on our bellies. And as we're sitting here, just breathing into the belly. As you inhale, just let your belly be relaxed and just breathe into your hands, just breathing into the belly. And as you exhale, feel that belly contracting slightly and you're pulling the belly in. Breathing in and opening up that belly, opening it up. And as you exhale, the belly contracts. You can even pull up the pelvic floor, relaxing that belly for the inhale and letting the belly just fall into your hands. And then exhaling, pulling the belly in. We'll do one more belly breath and then we'll move into opening up the ribs. So letting the belly just open and breathing into those hands and then contracting, pulling the belly in and pulling up the pelvic floor. So our next breath, we're going to breathe into the belly and then open the ribs. So we're breathing into the belly and then opening the ribs. And then as we exhale, those ribs contract and the belly contracts. So breathing into the belly and opening the ribs. And then releasing those ribs, pulling the belly in. Couple more like this, just breathing into the belly, opening the ribs, releasing those ribs, pulling the belly in, pulling up the pelvic floor. Let's do two more, belly and ribs. So breathing into the belly, opening the ribs, releasing those ribs, pulling the belly in. And one more like that. Breathing into the belly, opening the ribs, and then releasing the ribs, contracting the belly. Now we're going to go all the way in 3 parts. We're going to breathe into the belly, the ribs, and then the lungs. So we're breathing into the belly, opening the ribs, and then bringing the breath all the way up into the chest, and then releasing from the upper chest, releasing the ribs, pulling that belly in. This is the classic yoga 3-part breath, so let's carry on. Breathing into the belly, opening the ribs, opening the chest, holding the breath in the chest, and releasing the chest, releasing the ribs, pulling in the belly. So while we continue doing this, I just want to tell you, and you can just keep doing this on your own. So breathing, what they call pranayama in yoga, is the best way to detoxify the lungs. So as you breathe deeply, you opening your lungs, opening your chest, opening your breathing. It's a really effective way of keeping your lungs healthy and helping you to detoxify. So let's do another 3 breaths together. So we're breathing into the belly, opening the lungs, opening the chest, holding the breath in the chest for a couple moments, and then releasing the chest, releasing the ribs, pulling in the belly. 2 more. Breathing into the belly, opening the lungs, opening the chest, releasing the chest, releasing the ribs, pulling the belly in. And the last one like this, belly, ribs, chest, and then releasing from the upper chest, releasing the ribs and pulling the belly in. And even after that, if you're not used to deep breathing, you might feel a lot of oxygen coming into your brain. We're not used to breathing so deeply, but it's all good. So let's release the neck a little bit, just turning over to your right side, turning over to the right, and then bringing your head center, turning as you inhale over to the left, exhale, come forward. Breathe in over to the right, come forward, over to the left, and come forward. Now this time I'm going to take my head over to the right side and look down to my right hip, then look over my shoulder and come forward. Turn to my left, look down to my left hip, over my left shoulder, and turn to the front. We'll do that one more on each time just to loosen up the neck. Turning to the right, looking down, looking over, and coming forward. Inhale, look down, look over, come forward, exhale. And let's take our arms up above the head. Lifting those arms up above the head, and exhale, bringing the arms down. So as we do this, we're combining breath with movement. Inhale, lift up, stretch out of the pelvis. Exhale, let those arms come down, come down, come down. Let's do it a few more times, nice and slow. We're lifting up, and we exhale, coming down. Lift up nice and slow. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Exhale, come down. And one more like this. Let's lift up. Lift up. Breathe in. Stretch the spine. Exhale. Bring those arms down, down, down. Good. So, how are we doing? You can just give me the hands up. Good. Okay. So let's loosen up our shoulders. Just inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Through your nose is best. So just loosening up the shoulders. We'll do another couple of breaths. And then just resting and just feeling the flow of air and flow of oxygen as we're sitting here. I'm just going to get a tissue. And here I am. So, okay. So I want to do one more breathing exercise before we carry on, mostly because this is a time of stress for a lot of people, and breathing is really a way to bring balance to the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. And there's one more breath, alternate nostril breathing, that's really helpful just to bring calm and ease into the system, the ecosystem, the conglomerate of who we are, trying to stay positive, optimistic, and healthy. So we'll just do a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing. I'm going to pick up my right hand, take my thumb, my right thumb, and close off my right nostril, and I've got these fingers free. I'm going to breathe in through my left side, breathing in for a count of 3. I'm going to breathe in for 3. I'm going to close both nostrils for a count of 4. Release my right thumb and breathe out for a count of 5. Breathing in on the right for 3. Holding for 4. Releasing on the left for 5. Breathing in on the left for 4 now. Holding for 5. And releasing on the right for 6. Breathing in on the right for 4. Closing and holding both nostrils closed for 5. And letting it out on the left for 6. I'll do one more round. I'll breathe in on the left for 5. Close for 6, both nostrils. Release on the right for 7. Breathe in on the right for 5. Close both nostrils for 6. And release on the left for 7. And there we have it. Okay, so let's bring in a little more movement now. So we're going to take our arms up, and as we exhale, just bring your hands forward and walk your hands forward so that you can walk all the way forward and drop your head down. So while you're doing that, I'm just going to check something on the screen. So just drop your head all the way forward. And take a couple breaths with yourself leaning forward like that. And then walk yourself up, bring yourself up, 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 back into a sitting pose. So we'll do that again. We're breathing in, reaching the arms up, up, up. And then as we exhale, come forward, walk your hands forward, walk forward, drop your head down. And while your head is dropping down, feel yourself breathing into your back. Feel with each inhale that your back is opening and expanding. And with each exhale, it's relaxing. It's opening and expanding. And exhale as you drop forward. Okay. And walk your hands back, 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 back. And let's do one more like that. So we're taking the arms out, nice big inhale, reach up. And before we go down this time, let's climb one rope. You're grabbing the rope, grabbing, stretching the sides of your body. Keep breathing. Inhale, inhale, in. Let's exhale, come forward. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Drop your head down, And just take a few breaths into that back, breathing into the back. Breathing in and out into the back. And then walking up, sitting upright. Let's shake out those shoulders again, shake out the shoulders. And now we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to take our arms up, take the arms up, drop them down, place your fingers behind you, facing forward. And we're just going to start opening the chest. So we're going to roll the shoulders back and then relax. So as you press down, your palms of your hands are pressing down into the mat behind you, lifting up the back, rolling the shoulders together and almost letting your shoulder blades kiss behind you, and then release. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, release. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. And let's do one more. We're going to breathe in, and this time we're going to do what's called a dragon's breath. As we exhale, we're going to open our mouths to the ceiling. There's nobody else near you. You don't have to worry about infecting anyone. Take a deep breath and dragon's breath to the ceiling. And then relax. So inhale through the nose. Roll the shoulders, open up that back. Exhale to the ceiling. And relax, and we'll do one more like that. Breathing in through the nostrils, pressing down, lifting up the back, squeezing the shoulders together, and exhale. And come up, shake out those shoulders. And let's just get some movement going. Just throw out any negativity. Inhale, throw it out. Inhale, throw. Inhale, throw. Inhale, throw. And throw. And throw. And throw. And throw. And so that's a nice practice for lion's breath. So we can do a couple lion's breaths. Lion's breath is kind of fun. We're going to inhale through the nose, bring your hands and everything up into a nice constricted space. You inhale and then exhale. Inhale. And then inhale. Two more. Inhale. One more. Good. Good. So let's do a couple side bends and then we're going to move from the seated space. So we're just going to lift up, exhale over onto the right side and just stretch the side body over, opening up the capacity for breathing by opening up the rib cage and then coming up. Inhale, coming down, opening over, 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 and up. Inhale up, exhale down, over, over, over. Inhale up, exhale, over, over, over. Let's do one more on each side. We're coming up, we're going over, and we're just going to stretch to the side for a nice amount of time. Let's take an inhale and an exhale, and then let's take that rib cage and turn it up to the ceiling. Turn it up to the ceiling, and then roll down and put your left hand over your right knee. And then let's take that left arm up again. Open it out, open the whole rib cage, and then come up and fold over that right knee. And let's do it one more time. Lift up, open out, lift up, and come forward. And let's come up. And we'll do all of that on the other side. So we're going to go down, over, feel that nice stretch. Feel that stretch, and then open, looking up to the right side, coming over to the left, stretch over the left knee. Inhale up, open, out, lift up, bending over that knee, lifting up, out, up, and over. And coming up, and down. Good, we'll do one more twist sitting, and then we're going to move to a different position. Okay, so here we go. So let's just swing back and forth, getting some movement going, swinging. Let your head go with you, swinging, 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 swinging. And as we swing now to the right side, swing over to the right, sit up straight, and start turning yourself to look towards your right shoulder. So you're stretching up, your spine is nice and straight, and you're stretching all the way over to the right. And then turn your head and just look over to the left. So you've got that counter opposition. Your body's going to the right and your head is going to the left. And then let's release it. Let's just swing it out, swing it out, swing it out, swing it out. And then coming with the right hand on the left knee, lifting up that spine, getting it nice and straight, and then turning to look over the left shoulder, breathing in and breathing out, looking over that left shoulder, and then turning to look to the right, turning to look to the right, and then coming forward. Good, so here we are. Loosening up those shoulders. Good. So I think that we should come off the seat and find some other positions to move into. So let's go on to our knees, our using the blanket, if you like to use a blanket under your knees. Good. So we're going to be on our hands and knees, and we can do some dog and cat moves. So breathing in, coming into a dog back, lifting up the head, stretching that throat, and then flattening the feet and coming into your cat back, where you're looking towards your navel. Back is raised and arched. Breathing into dog, looking up in your dog, and just keep doing that. Do another couple dog and cats in your own time. I'm just going to see what's going on over here. So you're just doing some dog and cat moves. Okay, so doing your dog and cat moves, breathing into your dog, stretching, flattening up into cat. Let's do 2 more of these, 2 more dogs and 2 more cats. So breathing into your dog, flattening your feet, lifting up into cat. Breathing into dog, flattening your feet, and coming into cat. Good. And now I want to introduce 2 variations to this dog and cat. So extended cat and puppy. So to do puppy, which I love, it's one of my favorite poses, we're going to come into dog, come into a dog breath, come into your dog, and then when it's time to exhale, just walk your hands forward, keep your thighs absolutely vertical, and just stretch down, bringing your head towards the mat. And take a couple breaths like that. And then come back into your tabletop with your hands right underneath your shoulders. And the other variation that I like to do with my dog and cats is I like to do extended child's pose. So we'll do that now. We'll breathe into dog, exhale into cat, and then pull your cat back. Pull your cat all the way back. You're rounded back, going all the way back, into extended cat, where you can take 2 breaths. And then we'll come back into primitive pose. So I want to do a little sequence. We'll breathe in dog and go into puppy. And then we'll come back, breathe in dog, and go into extended cat. So this is how it'll go. Breathe in your dog. Exhale into puppy. Stretch those arms forward. Bring the chest down to the ground. Bring your arms back underneath your shoulders. Breathe into dog. Exhale. Pick your back up into cat, pull back into extended cat. Come up, breathe into dog, exhale into puppy pose. Breathe into dog, exhale into extended cat. Coming all the way back. Good, let's do 1 more of each. We'll breathe into dog, exhale into puppy. Breathe into dog, exhale into extended cat. And coming back, and here we are. So that was fun. So the next pose I want to do, which we'll do on all 4s, just like the pose that we did now, we'll do threading the needle. So let's go. Okay, so here we are. We're on all fours. Let's start lifting the left arm up. Left arm is going to lift up, and just to warm up the shoulder girdle, just swing underneath and take it back up. Inhale up, swing. Inhale up, swing out. Exhale. Inhale up, swing out. Inhale up, swing out. One more. Inhale up. Now this time when we go down, we're going to have that hand on the ground. Take your right hand, make space, swing it. I'm going to look away from the screen. My shoulder goes down on the ground. And I'm looking away from you. And then bring that back up. And here we go. We'll do the same thing with the right arm. Right arm is lifting up. Exhale under. Lift up. Exhale under. Lift up. Exhale under. One more practice. Lift up. Exhale under. Now this time we're taking it up. On the ground it slides through. We make space and lie down kind of like that. If I do it on the floor, you won't see me. And just breathe in your, breathe in this pose. Threading the needle pose, come out of it. And we're quite nicely situated to move into downward facing dog. So I'm going to take off my socks. And from this pose of primitive pose, let's just start moving into downward facing dog. So we just lift up the knees and stretch back. So Donna, your heels don't have to reach the ground. We can just walk it out, walk it out. Walk out, stretching those calf muscles, stretching the hamstrings, and feeling that we, in our downward facing dog, pushing back, and I'm going to step my right foot forward, step my left foot forward, and rolling up into the standing position. So I might have to push this back just a little bit. Okay, so let's do some salutations to the sun. So standing, facing forwards. So before we move into salutation to the sun, I just want you to feel mountain pose. Rock back and forth on your toes. Feel the ground beneath you. And feel your feet connecting to that ground. Especially now, it's really important that we feel grounded. So many things in our life have changed. We don't have structure. We don't have all the regular places that we go to, our appointments, our business, our contacts, our connections, our routine, our schedule. I want you to really feel your feet on the ground and feel what it's like to just rock from heels to toe, heel to toe. And just feel your feet feeling the ground. I was listening to a video on Facebook yesterday. One of my friends is a homeopath, and she did a little Facebook Live. And she said every day she makes sure to take her shoes off and her socks off and just put her feet on the ground. Grounding. So that's a great thing to do. I've also heard that if you fly on a plane, which none of us are doing now, once you've flown, you get off the plane, a good way to balance your energy is to take your shoes off and walk on the ground as soon as possible. But we're all flying now in craziness. So just feel your grounding. Feel your feet on the ground And it's a really nice thing to do. So before we do those sun salutations, let's just do some awkward chair poses. They're also nice to feel grounding. So just bending those knees and straightening them up. Bending the knees and straightening them up. Bend the knees. So let's do an inhale as we come up and an exhale as we drop. Inhale up, exhale, drop. Inhale up, exhale, drop. And now let's see how it feels if we do it the opposite way. Exhale, drop, opposite way. So inhale, exhale up. Inhale, exhale up. Inhale, exhale up. Inhale, exhale up. And inhale, exhale up. Let's intensify that awkward chair pose by bending our knees, taking our thumbs and pressing the hips back and feeling the legs squeezing each other. That's a nice grounding feeling, those legs squeezing each other. Lift up the right arm, lift up the left arm, and we're just sitting back in our awkward chair pose. And then drop it down and just hang down. And let's roll, roll up, roll up, roll up. And let's do that again. We're gonna, I turned off my music, it got so quiet I can't even hear it. Okay, let's do that again. Drop those knees, push the hips back, left arm up, right arm up. Here we are in awkward chair pose. Feeling those legs pressing against each other, giving strength to that body. And then folding down and just folding forward. Good. And rolling up. Good, so let's move towards that salutation to the sun. So we're feeling grounded, we're standing, we're strong. Going to take the arms out to the side and up. Exhale, fly out to the side. Drop the hands down. Breathe in, hands above the knees, head is up. Exhale, soft knees. Let's take the right leg back. Right leg goes back. Left leg goes back. Here's a nice plank pose. Let's breathe in and breathe out, holding that plank. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Pushing up into downward facing dog. And then dropping down onto the knees. Let's go for 8-point pose. Going to drop chest and chin and come up into cobra. So my elbows are bending alongside my body. Chest and chin. Push up into the cobra pose. Looking over the left shoulder. Looking over the right shoulder. Looking forward. Coming back onto my knees. Hooking my toes back into my downward facing dog. Stepping the right leg forward. Stepping the left leg forward. Soft knees, I'm coming up, coming up, coming up. Down the center line. Let's do the same thing leading with the left leg. Here I go. Breathing in, arms come out and up. Flying out to the side, dropping down. Hands above the knees, looking up. Exhale, soft knees, hands on the mat. Left leg goes back. Right leg goes back. I'm going to hold my plank pose. Breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. Pushing up to downward facing dog. Good, dropping down onto my knees. I'm coming in for 8-point pose. Chest and chin. Pushing up into my cobra pose. Looking over the right shoulder. Looking over the left shoulder. Back onto my knees, hook my toes. Up into my downward facing dog. Stepping the left leg forward. Stepping the right leg forward. Rolling up, and coming down. So that was a nice little simple sun salutation. There's so many variations of how it can be done. So let's do a slightly different version. Yeah, we're going to go again, coming up, breathing in, exhale, coming down, hands above the knees, looking up, exhale, soft knees, taking the right leg back, but this time I'm going to drop my right knee down, and I'm just going to come up into this, lifting up and bringing my hands into prayer pose. So my knee's on the floor. I'm going to do this twist once with my knee on the floor, and then we're going to lift the knee off the floor and do it with the knee not on the floor. So bring some movement into this upper body. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And then taking the right knee to the outside of the left knee, pressing those palms together, lifting the chest up and looking out to the window, and then coming forward. So I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to lift my back knee now. So I'm going to come over. Now I'm hooking my toe and I'm lifting that back knee, and now I'm looking to the side, coming forward, lifting up, coming down, hands come forward. I'm stepping that left leg back, up into my downward facing dog. And I'm just going to step that right leg forward, step the left leg forward, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's do it, everything that I just did, leading with the left leg. So here we go. Breathing in and up. Exhale, out. Dropping down. Hands above those knees, looking up. Exhale, taking the left leg back and dropping it down on the blanket and coming up. Here we go. Let's lift up. Lift up. Exhale. Hands come together. I'm going to do, let's loosen up that upper body. Loosen it up. Loosen it up. Loosen it up. I'm going to take that out to the side. I'm turning. I'm looking. I'm trying to lift my chest up. And then I'm coming forward. Then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to hook my toes. I'm going to lift the back knee. And now I'm looking out to the side. And then I'm coming forward, coming down, stepping back into downward facing dog. Step the left leg forward, the right leg forward, and I'm coming up. So I want to do one more standing sequence, and then we're going to come down onto the ground and get ready for Shavasana. So this is one of my all-time favorite standing postures. I learned it as salutation to the moon, but I've seen online that there's different versions of salutation to the moon. This is the version that I learned with my teacher, Gail, at Yoga Mountain. So here it goes. So take a wide stance, breathing in, coming up. Exhale, wide-legged stance. Exhale, and all the way down. You're going to come up. As I come up, I'm turning to the right side. Turning to the right, I'm interlocking my fingers above my head, taking my arms up and back, going for a back bend, then coming forward, forward, forward. My hands, I have my pointer fingers out. I'm going all the way down to my front leg. Coming up, inhale up. Exhale, drop that knee, interlock the fingers, open up the chest. Looking up, coming down, bringing the head down to the knee, and coming up, letting those hands go, turning up and down. We'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll come down to the floor. So here we go. Breathing in and up, big gathering of breath. Arms spread out, come forward, come forward, come forward, drop down. Coming up and turning to the side. Lifting up, taking it into back bend, coming forward, stretching out all the way down over the outstretched leg. Coming up, inhale. Exhale, interlock those hands, lift up the chest, open everything up. Inhale, coming forward, head to knee, coming up. Let those hands go, coming forward, coming down. Step those feet together. And we're ready to come down to the floor. So coming down to the floor and just sitting for 1 minute. I just wanted to publicly acknowledge another one of my teachers who I believe is watching right now is my dear teacher Paula. I want to acknowledge her and just thank all of you for coming. I know we're in the middle of the class, but just thank you all for joining me in this. So before we get into Shavasana and relaxation, I would just like to do some postures on the back. So we laying down, we can kind of lay down easily, quickly, slowly, do a little boat, kind of just challenge ourselves extra, and then we're going to come down to the ground. So while we're coming down to the ground, so I'm picking up my head so I can see you, and I'm not sure how well you see me if I'm lying down. Do you want to just show me, do you see me fine? Can someone just pick up a hand? Do you see me fine on the ground? Yes, okay. So we're just going to do some bridge poses. They're very good for lung health also, to do bridge poses. So start off with some pelvic tilts, just dropping the lower back into the floor and then tilting forward, dropping that lower back in and then tilting forward. And then let's do 5 rolling bridges. So as my arms come up, my pelvis comes up, arms go back, exhale, I come down. Inhale up, exhale down. 3 more. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. I think we got 2 more. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Good. And let's pick the legs up and just have them being vertical. Let's give the feet a chance to be upside down. Release those ankles, release those feet. Give them a little shake. Give them a little shake. And then bring them down. We can do one more bridge, which instead of a rolling bridge, we can roll our hands underneath our shoulders, interclasp the hands, bring the feet a little closer to the buttocks, pressing up, trying to keep those knees as close together as possible, and just breathing into the chest, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, and then dropping down, hugging those knees to you. And then let's just take those knees and rock them side to side. If you're feeling good and strong, you don't need to put your feet on the ground. You can just do this rocking with your feet in the air. If you're feeling more tired and compromised, you could put your feet down and rock your knees side to side with the feet down. And then, because this class is only an hour class, I'm going to get you ready for Shavasana pose. So you're lying on your backs and your knees have been going side to side. So at this point in the class, I'd like you to just find your way into your comfortable position for Shavasana pose. And this could really be the most important part of the class. A lot of teachers have taught that Shavasana is the hardest pose in yoga. But right now, I think it's a very needed pose. And I think it will be of great benefit for us to spend some time moving into Shavasana, allowing ourselves to really let go. So find yourself on the floor. As you lay down on the floor, as Paula would say, allow the floor to just receive you. It's not discriminating. It doesn't care if you could do the postures well or not. It just receives you. So let your bones stop doing the work of holding you up. Let those bones just release and relax. Let them let go. Let them give into gravity. Let them just be released. And then let the muscles start melting off of those bones. Let your jaw relax. Let your forehead relax. Let the tongue in your mouth relax. Let your shoulders relax. Let your elbows and your wrists relax. Let your fingers relax. Let your chest relax. Let your ribs relax. Feel your belly relaxing. Feel your pelvis relax. Feel your thighs relax. Feel your knees relax. Feel your calf muscles relax. Feel your ankles relax. Feel your toes relax. Your whole body is just relaxed on the floor. And now try to put your attention to your breath. Notice your breath now as we did at the beginning of class. Notice the inhales and the exhales. But this time you don't have to manipulate your breath in any way. Just watch the rise and fall of your breath. You could even say to yourself, now I'm breathing in. Now I'm breathing out. Just letting yourself be connected to nothing else other than the breath. Like I always so often say, the word for breath in Hebrew is neshima, and the word for breath, the word for soul in Hebrew is neshama. So as we connect to the breath, we're connecting to a deeper aspect of ourselves. Just feel like you're listening to that breath. Now you're breathing in. Now you're breathing out. And while you're lying down on the ground, feeling completely released and feeling completely at ease, imagine that from above you shines down a beautiful light, a silvery, gray, blue light. And it's a light of health and protection. And it's shining down from above you, and it's pouring down on you. And every single part of your body is able to receive this gorgeous, nourishing, protective, immunity-enhancing, silvery blue light. Feel it penetrate through the skin, going deep into those bones and tissue and all parts of you to the very, very core of you. And it's filling every single space and every single cell with this energy of light and immunity enhancing protection. And you're just letting it penetrate, you're letting it come into your body and fill every single little cell up. Imagine each cell drinking in this blue, protective, immunity-enhancing light of healing, and feel every cell getting saturated with this beautiful healing energy. And as you're lying here, the longer you can be in this space of receptivity, the more you can fill with this positive light. Your breath is nice and even, your body is totally relaxed, and every cell and every part of you is just filling up with this special healing property. And now imagine that replacing that blue light that's completely filled every little part of you and every little cell is coming down a golden light that's going to seal in all of that blue healing energy, all of that silvery blue healing energy. The golden light is coming and just being almost like a sealant, glad wrapping, happy wrapping, healthy wrapping, all of that health and vitality and immunity in your system. It's sealing it in, making sure that when you move from this space and you move on, that all of that good, powerful, immunity boosting, healing power stays inside of all of your cells, feeding you and contributing to your strength and to your immunity. And now that golden light has finished its sealing, you are completely wrapped, surrounded by this golden light with all of that blue healing energy locked in feeding and continuing to nourish you. And you can slowly, slowly start to reconnect to your physical body, reconnect to those limbs on the floor, slowly, slowly bringing movement to those limbs, slowly, slowly bringing awareness to those fingers, awareness to those toes, and start to stretch out. Give yourself a nice big yawn. And when you're ready, roll over into a fetal position. And stay in that fetal position for a few moments, maybe